about the events of today, but we'll not continue it. Anyway, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Pretty good.
Pretty well.
Pretty good. So for UNNC, we got word out on all of the local social media, and we did a MailChimp e-blast, and almost 400 people have seen it. So
great. That's wonderful.
But did you get any emails asking more questions?
We didn't get any more emails, but we do think there'll be a decent turnout for it, just because we're having a large amount of volunteers come. And a lot of times, you know, we did have to not advertise too much for volunteers for this event because it filled up really quickly. And so we, you know, the volunteers are likely to want to jump into the compost workshop, at least some of them. So we are anticipating having a decent size turnout. And in terms of community emails I've received, I think maybe like 5 emails.
Oh, you know, that's not a small number when you consider how many other things people have to choose from.
Definitely.
Yeah, especially since, well, now there's always lots of things, but it's Taste the Soul is also at the same time.
Oh, I don't think I knew that was happening, but very cool.
Yeah, so Elizabeth, do you want to call this meeting to order? And before you even answer that question, do you want it also recorded on Zoom? It's just kind of outputting, hi Charlie, outputting to YouTube, but we won't have any record of it if we don't record it to Zoom.
Yeah, sure, go ahead and record. That sounds
okay,
fine.
because I was gonna say, I don't know if we need, but we can
We
do
don't,
it.
but might as well. For everyone to know how civil and kind and thoughtful that we are all the time.
Right, and or to make sure we save the chat.
That too, yes. Yeah. Okay, so Laura, would you show the agenda?
Yes, I can do that.
Did you record? Did you start recording?
Yeah, we're recording.
Okay. So great. Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's October 13th, UNNC Sustainability Meeting. I'm again calling from a little bit out of town, but I love to hear the news of sustainability actions in Los Angeles. And so another month of hearing that something has happened. And I think, yeah, I'm so glad to hear about the compost workshop. I'm so glad to hear about the cages around the trees so that we can plant trees in the thing. And that's about all I know right now. So, Laura, would you mind reading the determination to continue hold meetings?
Right. Well, or summarizing anyway. So I direct your attention to item number 1, the determination to continue to hold meetings virtually. And the Board of Neighborhood Commissioners, which is BONC for short, and the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment are basically, it's been established that BONC has the authority to adopt AB 361 findings on behalf of the city's neighborhood councils, and to determine that due to the COVID-19 state of emergency, meeting in person would present imminent risks to the health or safety of attendees. This meeting is being conducted virtually pursuant to that directive.
Okay, life has changed since COVID in meaningful ways. So that's all. Let's go around, if you don't mind, just say your name and what you're up to lately. We all know each other, but what's been happening this week?
Well, okay, Laura Myers. I'm on the board. Live in Angeles Vista. Help monitor and coordinate this meeting, and I'm co-chair of planning and zoning, and I'm the immediate past president of UNNC. And so what's happening this week, which isn't about sustainability, is do you guys know what the Great Walk Los Angeles is? It's an annual event. This is its 17th year. It's organized by some editors at Variety, actually, and they have a couple hundred people every year. They plan a route. They meet somewhere east and then walk to the beach. It's the Great Walk Los Angeles, and it's not always to the beach. Last year, I think they didn't. They went from San Gabriel on the old Highway 101, I think. But usually it's like from the east side to the beach. Anyway, they're going to do West Adams Boulevard this time. So right through our community. And a little zig and zag. I'm going to help. They were here in 2009, and we did a big zig and zag. We went like, it was Adams was the through line, but we went up to Washington, we came back to Adams, we went south, we came back to Adams, but they ended up walking 17 miles to get to the beach. We're not doing that. Stick close to Adams, but we can take some diversion. So it's on the Saturday before Thanksgiving. So I don't think that's a day that you're having a community garden day, Elizabeth Hall. So we wouldn't be able to show them your garden, unfortunately. But you know, I mean, it's going to be good. And I'm going to suggest that UNNC have a table somewhere, but this came up yesterday. So this, you're hearing it here first. Anyway, so that's my public comment, or what I'm planning to apparently to do for the next month. Anyway, that's it. Oh, that's my public comment and introduction. We haven't even had the everybody else's introduction. Sorry. Okay, so you need Elizabeth and Charlie to introduce.
You want me to go? I'm Charlie, as you all know. I live in Harvard Heights. I'm on the board as well. And I originally asked for these compost workshops, and I really need it. Like, I'm so happy that we're doing one this Saturday, because we actually bought a compost room started, but then like a ton of maggots, I guess, got in it, and it was like not the kind of worms that you want in the compost. Like, it was really disgusting. We had to throw it all away. So that was a bummer. So I feel like I need some tips, because really we were putting the right balance of stuff in. And so, and I also feel like we're going to fill it. I mean, maybe we have more vegetable waste than, I don't know. I feel like it's going to get filled up in like no time at all. You know, it'll be filled way before it's ready to, you know, be used. So anyway, I'm glad that we have this coming up. I will be there with my 3-year-old, and she's excited to visit. She was asking actually to visit the garden again, which I thought was so sweet. So she's really excited to go back to the garden. So, so we'll see you guys there.
I wasn't sure if it was me, Elizabeth, or the other Elizabeth, but I can jump in because that's a natural segue. I'm excited you're bringing your young child to the garden. It's great to have that space there for that. I'm Elizabeth Hall, and I work with Garden School Foundation. So I live in Culver City / Palms, but work at Garden School Foundation, which is our flagship school, is located in West Adams, 24th Street Elementary, and we've been there since 2005. And I've been with GSF since 2016. I'm very excited to do the composting workshop this weekend. And just more broadly, I'm super excited about the LAUSD resolution to green all of the campuses. That's been like the most exciting news on my plate for a while. So still jazzed about it.
Would you explain to me what that means?
Yeah, it's the board passed a resolution to green all of the campuses. So right by like add 35% or 30, I'm not exactly sure, but I think it's 30 to 35% shade coverage. And right now, actually only 16% of all schools qualify or like meet that resolution. So it's a big initiative of the district to get all of that happening, I believe, by 2023. So like LAUSD is the biggest landowner in LA County. And so like greening the campuses has like the potential to have just like such a big impact on shade, but also on the heat index. Like school campus, a lot of people don't know, but the campuses are mostly asphalt, and they can reach up to like 140 plus temperatures on really hot days in the 90s. So it's like kind of, you know, it's both like unsafe and also just like not pleasant. So there's kind of a big push to green the campuses because of the heat wave. And so we're also really excited that they put a timestamp on it that is so close for 2023. So it just means like more action is going to happen sooner, hopefully.
Wow, that's a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks. Okay, I will expand the agenda then and say, I think we're ready for item number 4. Laura, you want to take that?
Sure, I'm gonna stop this share though. So the update is good-ish on Washington Boulevard. So Danielle Merrill, who's the field deputy for Council District 10 for the area north of the freeway, has been working for months and months to get a commitment from the city to remove the tree cages that we needed removing just for our project, right? It's that simple. And apparently they didn't do it. So the council office ended up working directly with not KYCC, but I think the Conservation Corps, which did have the equipment to remove the cages. So they got removed. It was a 2-day effort. Should have been a 1-day effort, but they discovered that well, remember, Elizabeth, the one on the south side of Washington near Oxford, the cage was gone, but it was filled with concrete.
I don't remember that, but
yeah, so because I thought you or Dan or somebody removed the cage as an experiment, but the bottom had the metal and concrete, and that turned out to also be the situation on the cage at the still standing cage by Surface, so 3rd Avenue in Washington. So they had to come back the second day with concrete busters because the planting spaces were actually filled with concrete. You had a little dirt, it had a bunch of concrete in it. And so, that's all handled. So it's all done. The disappointing thing about the one at Surface is there's still some concrete there and a broken curb. So we may lose that location when it's inspected, and we'll have to substitute one more location in. So, because I don't think the council office is going to be able to really quickly redo that, get the city to do the curb and take it, they're going to try. But anyway, she worked really hard and finally got it done. So I did not get a reply to my email on Monday that went to KYCC, so I will push them. The week got very weird, as you know. So I've been kind of watching the news every 2 minutes. So I didn't follow up enough, but I want to make sure that they're poised to get the new inspection, renew the permits, and get the trees planted, because we're at that spot now.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, super exciting.
And I guess, assuming that it all goes forward, our next step is finding the rest of the funds for 2 more additional years of watering, but we don't need to do that tomorrow.
Okay, right. Let's get them in the ground.
Yes. Exactly.
How many openings did that create?
Well, we have 25 spots, but we may now have to, that one spot may end up having to be moved. I mean, I want to get it inspected and let the inspector tell us what has to happen.
Okay. Any
Okay.
questions? Any? And so you emailed the guy, the new person.
Yeah.
What's it?
So
What's
it's
his
okay. I'll do it again. I'm Joseph, I think, but I don't want to be naggy since it's taken so long to get the cages out. But then again, the time frame is, this is a good time to plant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of balancing nagginess and not nagginess.
Okay. 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 Can anybody mind? Can we move on to the next piece?
No problem.
I'm sorry, you guys. I'm doing as much sustainability stuff I can here, where in the place where I'm at,
right,
which involves, I don't know what it involves, but I'm biking back and forth to work every day, and it's 11 miles.
All right, so you're tired. Anyway, so your next item is the composting workshop fall 2022 series. Is what I called it, Elizabeth Hall. Next home composting workshop is this Saturday in conjunction with the Community Garden Day. And it's just really for us to talk about now is like, what do you need and what will our presence be like? So I have some UNNC branding postcards. They're not post, we don't mail them, but cards. And the only question I really have for Charlie and Elizabeth is, should I also last minute, but I'm able to do it, create some sort of flyer about this committee and have it, I can print it here. This is not a money thing. So if that seems to make any sense. And then for Elizabeth Hall, what did we decide on the handouts for the composting 101? I can print them, but I don't have anything from you. And you said you could print them at the school, but have you done that, or do you need to send me a PDF? So those are so we're talking about stuff you guys don't like. Paper, printing, waste of trees.
Yeah, I think it would be good to have a few things about the council, because I don't know if many people even know the council is as active as you guys are. So I definitely think having something, people tend to take less away now. So I don't know if you have the option to put like a QR code on it, or I could create one,
We have a QR code.
Oh, great. Yeah. So I think even printing, you could print a pretty small amount, like 10 or something, and then just have them there if someone is a hard copy person and wants to take them. But usually people just just will scan the thing, if only because if they're a volunteer, maybe they can't keep up with a piece of paper. But definitely have the materials on the table. One, it helps make the table look really like robust and inviting. But also some people prefer hard copies. So I think it's nice actually. And not all of our community have smartphones. So I think having the option of a paper copy is actually really helpful. And in terms of our handout, I believe the educator at the site already printed it, just because we do get that printing. And she was the one creating it. So it was just kind of a streamlined. It's our cafeteria to compost manager who will probably be joining future meetings. Her name is Anne. I think she came to y'all's anniversary mixer as well. So yeah, I think everything on our end is squared away. We'll have the table both where people check in, and then we'll have a separate table set up just around the compost area to have the handouts, which we'll try to keep a digital copy as well. That's a QR code too that people can do, but we're gonna have probably like 20 or more handouts. Probably actually, we'll probably have like quite a bit more than that, but we can reuse them at our Hauserworth workshop. So that's okay in terms of like paper waste, but yeah, we're all squared away.
Okay.
I have a question too, actually. One is, well, there are more requests actually. Would it be possible for you to make sure to formalize a photo?
Oh, yes. Yeah. So we put that on our run a show this time just to kind of like fine tune things. I realized I'm actually the person who takes all of GSF. For the most part, I take like all of the group photos and stuff. And I realized that being at the check-in prevented me from capturing really good content. So we'll try to take a photo both at the beginning of the workshop and then at the end of the workshop. So it will run from 10 to 11:30, and then we break at 11:30 and have actually a catered lunch from Sprouts this time. So we definitely recommend, if you have the time, stay, chat, mingle. It's always nice to meet like other people who are passionate, about sustainability. And we'll try to take right before it ends, just like another kind of group shot. And hopefully I'll probably depart the check-in at about 10:30, because usually, the workshop's something people want to arrive on time to. Come back, and I should be in the back to be able to capture all that video content and other things.
Oh, it's so wonderful that I hate to ask this second thing, which is, do you think it would be possible? And I would do this, I would provide this if I were there. Would it be possible to get or make a very simple thank you note to UNNC?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
That people could then, just because it's like, this.
Oh, you're saying everybody sign a card?
Yeah, that's a great idea. I love that. Yeah, it's a good way to like show the impact it's having and everything. And this time we're also going to have a separate sign-in sheet for the workshop to capture all the emails of everybody who attends, to be able to follow up a little more closely. So yeah, but that's a great idea. I'm just going to write it down really quick.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah, that's the way to get it done, is to write it down, because I can just picture UNNC at a meeting. Are you guys in person now?
No.
No, you're not in person. Oh, well, okay. So somebody showing the a card. And
Well,
if kids are there.
hold it
and-
up and we scan it, yes.
Yeah, you can, yeah, absolutely share it. It just is a something, right? It makes a lot of difference to UNNC, who I often feel like they give a lot to the community, but nobody really knows how much work it is.
Yeah, definitely. And we're more than happy to do that and help spread the word about the work that you guys do. And yeah, we are very grateful. And I feel like just signing the card kind of puts y'all's name one more time in people's head.
In their heads. Yeah, wonderful. Thanks.
Okay, so if I'm understanding this right, I'm gonna bring the branding postcard. When we call it branding postcard only because we're switching logos, colors, and things. But I'm also gonna reprint the flyer that doesn't have the new brand, it has the old brand, but I'll print it anyway, the old logo, because it says about what is UNNC. It's a good, and that has the, what did you call that thing again? The thing you scan, the little.
The QR code, yeah.
It has the QR code on it. And I will somehow get that QR code on a different flyer that I talk about this committee and what we do.
Yeah, all that.
Although the QR code will still just go to the main website and not to this committee, because that I don't, because we don't have our standalone page really yet anyway. So
you guys do have the standalone Instagram. So you guys, or no, I guess it's not just the committee, it's the general one.
right, right. And we have Facebook too, but I have to say it's not populated well yet. Yeah. Neither one. So, okay. But that's the plan. So if it starts at 10, what time do I need to bring materials? Probably, I mean, I know your day starts at 9, but I have to work too. So I have to go to work first.
I mean, I would suggest bringing them, right
Quarter
at
of 10?
like 9:45, if that's a
Yeah,
possibility.
I can, that's easy.
Okay, because
Yeah, it's the 9 a.m. That would be hard.
Yeah. And then that way it gives you, we'll have everything kind of set up. But just that buffer time gives a little time for like, in case
Sure.
people, sometimes people arrive like 10 to 15 minutes early. So
Yeah, I could do 20 minutes early. I just need to come where I am right now first. I don't know if you every once in a while hear the little cats meowing in the background, but it's like, where's my breakfast?
no.
Right now it's, where's my dinner? I know if you're on Zoom, it's time for us to bug you so we can have dinner. Of course, they had dinner, I'm just saying. So, okay.
Make an appearance.
Yeah. Well, Elizabeth's kitty, I didn't know Elizabeth liked kitties, but made an appearance just now, right?
Yeah, they like me. I feed them.
Yeah, food girl.
So
I'm one of those, food girl. Okay. Is there anything else on the workshop? Okay, because I know at least Charlie and I have been at another meeting. So I'm glad we're having something positive, because obviously our special meeting has to do with all the negative stuff that's going on in the city. But are we done with this item? Because there's just one more item.
I think we are. I think it's
Okay.
great. Yeah.
So I defied Miss Fenner and went ahead and put on the agenda new business, brief discussion regarding the condition of the other trees on Washington Boulevard within UNNC's footprint if time permits. And the main reason I did it is because even as we've been discussing planting 25 trees, so many trees have died. And I've got a good count, almost good count. It's either 11 or 12 trees. Well, 11 standing trees and at least one that was crashed into and was removed, but 11 trees are standing dead inside cages. So not the cages we just removed. These are another 11 locations. So this is not something we would ever have the bandwidth to plant even more trees, and get rid of more cages. I think we're at our financial limit as a neighborhood council, right? With the budget limitations everybody has. But I'd like us to ponder what kind of project we could suggest maybe for the governing board to suggest to the council office to do. I'm saying that right. Some sort of letter of request to the council office. And I don't know, maybe Charlie, you've gone around your neighborhood. I don't know if there's other dead trees standing in tree cages. I mean, it's a big project, because when they're dead, it's not just kind of chopping them down, it's removing the stumps to make the space available again. Oh,
Yeah.
I know it's late.
No,
So
it's okay.
I just wanted to put that out there. We don't need to do anything tonight, but I would like to kind of contemplate what we do.
I wonder if we could put out, I mean, and I don't even know if this is possible, but for some reason in our yard, and I can't imagine we're the only house that this is happening to, but we've had so many volunteer trees. Like, I mean, I think probably like 7 literal actual trees have like just sprouted from seed from other things like in our yard. And so some of them, it's like almost like too many trees. Like I think we have maybe an extra tree that we're going to have to remove from our yard just because it's like so many. And I wonder if we could start to ask her. I mean, I don't know if that's even possible.
You mean like crop sharing, but tree sharing?
Yeah, and like either give them to somebody else's yard or try to fill some of those spots that need filling with trees. They must be native trees because they've just come up.
Yeah, they could be squirrel-based trees, just to be clear.
That's true.
Do you know?
What
kind of tree are they?
Oh my God, there's so many. We've had avocado, 2 pepper, like they're not the pepper trees, but the ones that look like the pepper trees with the red balls.
Yeah, Brazilian peppers.
Yeah, 2 of those. And then there's 2 more that I don't know what kind. They have a really, really, really nice smelling flower, like a flowering, really like.
So yeah, they're real trees.
Real trees. I'll take pictures and send them to you guys. I mean, it's been kind of amazing. I mean, like really, our yard is just like, it's like almost like a fortress now because it's just like it's like it's just like they have surrounded us. But it's really cool. But I think again, there's a few that might need to end up. A jacaranda popped up. We have a jacaranda in the front, but then I think another one came anyway. It's weird, but great, but weird. But anyway, I'm wondering if there's a way to.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know that we, meaning David, not so much me, but at our bungalow court apartments, when we look at like, Google Street View, look at the thing in 2010, there's no trees. And now it is filled with pecan trees. Filled. So many and so large that we're now having to plan to remove some of them because they're like right up close to the buildings. And it's definitely the squirrels. We know where the parent tree is across the street. It's definitely the squirrels taking the pecans and then burying them. And in fact, I saw a squirrel today in the middle of David's backyard digging a hole and sticking a pecan in it and covering it up. So right in the middle of his backyard. So, but it's interesting that you have such a wide variety of trees popping.
We have another, it's like a nectarine. That's another one that popped up out of nowhere. Anyway, really a lot.
Well, one would wonder if your yard had those particular trees 50 years ago, and you're just doing such a good job of working the soil and giving it water and nutrition that things are coming up
to life again. Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, the other thing I thought of while you were saying that trees are dead is that we also had a tree that really seemed like it had died, but we've been watering it with the old bath water, like so much water from the bath, and it is sprouting back to life, like amazing. I mean, I wish I'd taken a picture of it because it looked dead, like it really did not look revivable, and it is like green leaves are like sprouting from the bottom now, and it's like very exciting. So I wonder also if any of those trees could be brought back to life with water, or they might be.
Well, I don't know. They look really darn dead. And I don't see anybody on Washington Boulevard doing what you're able to do with your bath water.
Yeah.
So, no, it's really sad because these are all trees that UNNC planted, all these trees in our early years. I mean, we just celebrated the 20th anniversary. I want to say probably 15 years ago. So they never did really, really well because they never had the proper care. I mean, the lessons learned. Okay, well, so that I just wanted to throw that out, that we don't need to do anything tonight, but maybe we can think about, because what we would have to do is, kind of create a letter that we would approve and then recommend to the governing board that it, adopt that letter, and who would it go to and what are we asking for, and, because what we're not suggesting is that we pay for it.
Mhm.
And it's two projects. One would be get rid of them. And then the next one would be, now we have all these planting places, what do we do with them? So,
And
okay.
I would say just, the safest thing is to focus on, what did you hear me? Focus on getting the trees planted in October or early November.
Mhm.
I mean, that's the sole
Right.
focus. And then the compost workshop and getting.
Exactly. And then think
That's
about
all.
this. And think about this. Well, while we actually still have a council person who at the moment is sympathetic to us, because one of the initiatives that apparently is going to happen is investigate how the council person was appointed in CD10. So we might be facing another period of drought,
Oh,
as it were, in
no.
leadership. I hope not. So,
I mean, I
okay.
don't know how you feel about the person appointed, but
I have no, what am I trying to say? I'm not totally neutral, because in the couple of weeks she's been there, she's been extremely nice. So it's like, oh, she's very likable. But this whole situation is, this last year has been really difficult, and I would have preferred personally that there, in the year 2024, when there's an election, that it be a level playing field.
absolutely.
So that's not a comment about any one individual. It's just,
Sure.
I would have preferred a level playing field, because it would have been a level playing field if the unfortunate circumstances surrounding MRT hadn't happened. He was only going to serve the one term. I mean, he was not eligible past that. So 2024 would have been a level playing field. So I do feel that things that we want to ask for this, we don't want to wait 6 months, because it's going to be, we may not have the same opportunities that we might have now, but not today. You're right. Let's get these other things done. And for Elizabeth Hall, I am going to donate a little money, and I don't know if I'm going to split a little now and a little later after I pay my taxes.
Oh, yeah.
So.
And how does one donate to garden school?
We have a link on our website. And so just, we're very grateful for the donation, Laura. And one of the other members has donated as well. And so just to say that the funds will go towards this spring workshop. I am hoping that we can partner. I don't know if you guys remember at the meeting, the gentleman whose name escapes me right now is here. He runs a youth center in the area, and I just thought it would be great to try to have it at that location.
Oh, right. That was KYCC.
Yeah. And so I am still hoping that will come to fruition. And if for whatever reason, not that we would find another local site to host it at, aside from just the garden, just to expand the reach and the amount of people who can come.
Sure.
I thought that was a great point. So we will use any donations towards the spring workshop.
Okay, cool. Okay, Elizabeth Henner must go.
Yeah.
We must go, right?
I'm dead on my feet, honestly. Yeah. But I miss you guys. And I'm there in March, I think, at least March. For sure.
Okay.
That's when you're coming back,
Yeah.
to live?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm in love with the Wichita Public Library. It's small, but strong and well directed. And so my hope is that they would be able to either create or find a remote position for me so I could do something for them remotely.
That's awesome.
But I know this to be true also. Elizabeth's in love with her 2 children who may or may not be doing perfectly well on their own here.
Yeah, in Los Angeles, right around the corner from, yeah.
No, I see them driving by. They seem, healthy, but I don't know how your garden is doing.
Yeah, the worm compost died apparently, so I have to start
Oh.
over again. Yeah. Elizabeth, will you be doing worm composting?
Not at this, I don't think at this workshop, but I think that's something we're going to do at our Hauserworth workshop. We're doing a compost workshop as well for kids. And so worm composting is can be intimidating, I think, for first-time composters. But for kids, whether they're going to compost or not, they're so excited to see the worms.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we could always try to work that in for the April workshop as well. So if there's interest in that, yeah.
Okay, it's around the corner. Just a few rainstorms away.
They didn't go into it in detail, but they did answer questions about the worm composting at the last one too. So it's like, if people are interested, they can get info about it.
Right. And we did learn what worms don't like to eat.
Yeah, like it's usually something we touch upon because we do it in our schools. But yeah, so in any kind of composting, they'll be able to answer questions at. They're all like super experienced.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so thank you everybody for being here again. And
I'll see 2 of you on Saturday.
okay, yeah. See you next month.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
So the YouTube is still on. Let me